With the promise to follow in the footsteps of the Habsburgs, we embarked on Grand Circle's Old World Prague and the Blue Danube river cruise to explore the former Austro-Hungarian Empire. Our 12-day journey included visits to Budapest, Hungary, Bratislava, Slovakia, Vienna, Austria, and Prague, Czech Republic. And the Grand Circle tour was filled with engaging cultural experiences and insightful talks, as well as fascinating tours and meetings with locals in each city. An appropriate start, we began in Budapest, the capital of Hungary and once known as Queen of the Danube. In addition to stunning historical sites, the city is at the center of Hungarian industry. Its history, which goes back to Roman times, includes key roles in the Austro-Hungarian Empire and more recently in the Soviet bloc. Our morning bus tour covered both sides of Budapest on the Danube River, both the Buda and the Pest parts of the city that are joined by bridges across the river. The highlight was a tour of Castle Hill with a local guide. After the tour, we explored the area and enjoyed the views of the river. Back on the bus, we crossed the Danube over the chain bridge and visited Heroes Square to listen to a discussion about the Hungarian Revolution from a man who lived through that tumultuous period. This would be the first of several engaging first-person talks we would hear at key sites. After lunch, we explored Budapest, visiting the Church of Our Lady, a dazzling church that dates back to the 13th century and was used to crown kings. On day 2, we went on the Freedom Walk, where we viewed notable buildings that included the Parliament, the American Embassy, the Media Building, and more. A moving monument along the Danube's edge consisted of simple, life-sized bronze shoes that represented the many Jews who, during World War II, were forced to take off their shoes, were shot, and then pushed into the freezing river. The bronze shoes lie on the very site of their tragic deaths. An evening cruise along the Danube allowed us to view the area in all of its lit-up splendor, with key buildings glowing like jewels. It's indeed a sight to behold. Second stop was Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia. In addition to exploring this charming medieval city, this stop would present opportunities to learn about its recent history and daily life under former Soviet rule. We walked through the old town, enjoying its broad market squares and impressive village gate. Back on the boat, the evening closed with an energetic performance by a traditional Slovakian dance troupe who showcased intricate footwork and demonstrated folk dances from different parts of the country. Another capital city, Vienna, Austria, was home to the Habsburg dynasty, one of the great powers of Europe. The vibrant city is known for its imperial sites, culture, and coffee houses. We boarded buses for a tour that combined window views and walking. Key sites included the Imperial Palace, home of the ruling Habsburg family, the Opera House, and the Spanish Writing School. After mid-morning coffee at a Viennese coffee house, we ate real Wiener Schnitzel, then visited St. Stephen's Cathedral, and simply wandered the city. Our next stop was Rnstein, a medieval town where England's King Richard the Lionheart, yes, the Lionheart of Robin Hood lore, was held captive in the town's castle by Leopold of Austria. Situated on the edge of the river, Rnstein offers beautiful views of the Danube and local vineyard. A key point in the town is its church with its distinct blue spire. After the visit to Rnstein, the ship cruised through the Wachau Valley with its series of medieval towns. That afternoon was spent touring the 900-year-old Melk Abbey, a Benedictine monastery. The tour showcases the abbey's history through ancient relics, but many of its exhibits were designed with a definite modern touch. Linz, Austria was our next port. For us, it was the departure point for our tour of Salzburg, Austria. After a 2-hour bus ride, the combination bus and walking tour showed us Salzburg's highlights: Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's birthplace, the downtown, the market, and various plazas. A highlight was Mirabel Gardens. Those steeped in the Sound of Music movie, which was filmed here, will enjoy touring the gardens, the setting for much of the Do-Re-Mi musical segment. After lunch, we took the funicular to the Salzburg Castle, which provided great views of the city, but we ran out of time to explore Mozart's birthplace and museum, something that we really wanted to do. In Linz, we bade farewell to our ship, our home for the past 8 days, and boarded buses for the trip to Prague, the land-based portion of our tour. Along the way, we visited the medieval city of Český Krumlov in the Czech Republic on the banks of the Moldau River, which is known for spectacular architecture and its wonderful castle. After the walking tour, we explored the city and castle. The walk up to the castle was well worth the trip for views of the city and the Moldau River, which flows through the town. Climbing higher through the castle grounds, we reached the Immaculate Gardens at the very top. Our final destination, we toured Prague, the capital of Czech Republic. The city is famous for its stunning and well-preserved architecture that remained intact through and after World War II. We boarded buses to take a tour of the city. The tour's walking portion took us through the city and across the St. Charles Bridge. The tour ended near the Old Town, a huge and charming market square with its well-known astronomical clock that chimes on the hour and presents a parade of Christ's 12 apostles through 2 windows in the clock face. The next day we toured the sprawling Prague Castle. Throughout our city tour the prior day, the immense castle beckoned from the top of the hill. You just can't miss it or not want to explore it. Our guide led us through the castle's areas, and the garden provided great views of the city. Since our visit was on a Sunday, we unfortunately could not visit the cathedral as was being used for services. Our 12-day journey came to an end all too quickly. So what brought me to this region of the world? Blame the Viking river cruise ads that preceded episodes of Downton Abbey. River cruise sounded like fun. Having already spent time in England and France, this tour of the former Habsburg Empire provided a great new region to explore, and the Grand Circle cruise provided a great means to do so. I not only had a blast, I came home with a new perspective of the world, and I think this is the goal of Grand Circle cruises. Mission accomplished.